Welcome back to the Wholesome Dog Life. Today I'm going to be showing you the first few things that you need to teach your new puppy. So the first thing that you're going to need is some high value treats and put them in a pouch or a bag or something close to you that's easy to get to. What I mean by high value is something that is really good to your dog. It's usually something that they don't get every day, like their pellets. I often find the things that are more smelly, like fish or meat, they often get your dog's attention better. So in my treat bag today I have some dehydrated raw liver, and then I also have some dehydrated fish, which he loves. So the first thing we're going to teach our pup is their name. It's something that we often take for granted, but when we get our pup, they don't know what their name is. So we want them to associate it with something positive, like food. So I'm going to take a few treats in my hand, very small ones so that my puppy doesn't get full quickly, and give him a treat for every time I say his name. Bourbon! 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 You can extend this at home, where you can play a game with your dog. You can even use their meal times when you hold a bit of their pellets and feed them a pellet for each time you say their name. You can also get your family members involved, so you can use a toy and call them across the room with their name, and then give them the toy or a little bit of play for their name. You can use treats. It's really great to get everyone involved so that he gets used to hearing his name from different people. The next thing that I want to do is kind of building up to a proper recall. A recall is when you call your dog and they come back to you straight away. It's a very important thing for your dog to be able to do. I'm not going to do the proper recall with the command come yet. I just want him to get used to getting rewarded for coming back towards me. So right now he's sniffing around. I'm not going to just call him because he'll probably ignore me. He's looking at things out there. We're at a park. I'm going to get him with a treat. Bring him back to me. Reuben! Yay! So he got rewarded for coming back to me rather than walking away. If your dog then stays with you, to practice this, I sometimes throw a little treat out to encourage him to walk away. And then I'll bring him back in. It's always a good idea to not say their name over and over again when you're trying to get them to do one thing, or the command over and over again. That's why I like to make a little noise with my mouth, just to get his attention. You can also use a squeaker, just so that he is actually listening to me before I say the word. The tone of voice is really important in this as well. You've got to be really positive when you call him. You don't want to be shouting at the dog, and you never want to say your dog's name in a negative manner, because then they're not going to want to come towards you. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is positions. So I know most people teach their dog to sit, to down, and some people teach to stand. I'm going to show you how to do all three of those right now. So the way that we teach our dog to do things is literally with luring with a treat. So you have a treat in your hand, move it to where you think the dog should be. When they do the thing that you want them to do, you're going to say the word and reward them for it. We're not going to just shout sit at them until they sit, because that doesn't make any sense. So basically this is your remote control. I'm going to take a small treat. I'm going to put it on his nose. And I'm going to tip it over his head. Sit. Good boy. That's going to take a lot of practice and repetition for him to keep doing that. But that's all you need to do to teach him to sit. In my next video, I'm going to make an extension of this and how you can get that from a treat to a hand signal and just a verbal command. The next one is down. So to down, we get our dog to sit first, and then we kind of draw a line from their head to the ground with a treat. Down. We say down as their elbows hit the ground. With some dogs, it is not as easy as just going straight down. Often larger breeds will just put their head down and stand like that, or some smaller dogs just don't stay down. There are a couple of ways around this. So the one thing that you can do is kind of move the treats sideways as you pull them down. So you can go like this and kind of move sideways so they fall over, down. With really small dogs, you can lure them under an object, or even your knees. You could just sit with your knees out in front of you and lure them underneath it. It will often help them go down. This works really well for things like Jack Russells and Dachshunds that don't like to go down, or it's hard to get them to go down. The last position that I'm going to show you is a stand. So he's currently down, so I'm going to show you how to get him from the down into the stand. So you treat to the nose again, and you're going to lead him back up into a sit. Back up into a sit, and then you're going to go straight out. and then stop as they get up. We don't want them walking forward. Stand and reward. Some people think that stand is a very pointless position because obviously we want our dogs to sit for things, we want them to lie down and be quiet. But standing is really valuable. So if you want to brush your dog, it's very difficult to do if your dog is sitting or lying down. If you want to wash them, it's really important that they can stand really nicely. And if you take them to the vet, it's much easier for the vet to examine them if they are standing. They can feel their stomach puppy, they can take their temperature. So it's a really good idea to have your dog comfortable with standing and standing for longer periods of time. Thank you so much for joining us for this video. I really hope that it gave you a few ideas of the first few things that you can teach your puppy. I will be following this up with a few more videos on how to extend each of these commands and how to do more with your puppy. Let me know in the comments if there's anything specifically that you'd like to learn and I can make a video for you. Thanks so much.